Hi everyone, I'm Melissa Dargan and welcome to my YouTube channel. This video is going to be about the 8 financial benefits that you need to know if you work or plan to work on Capitol Hill. These are the things I wish I knew when I first started working in Congress. Now, whether you're an intern looking for a job, a new staffer that just got hired, a current staffer who works on Capitol Hill, or anybody interested in working in Congress, this video is for you. Make sure to stay to the end because there will be 3 extra bonus tips that current staffers have shared that you won't want to miss. So watch the video all the way through to get these 3 amazing extra insights. Now, I invite you to join me, pick your favorite drink, mine's a mule, sit back, relax, and be ready to learn. Cheers! Also, if you find this video helpful, please hit that like button and subscribe to my YouTube channel to be updated on videos related to personal finance and other things I wish I knew earlier. One final thing before we dive into the list that you may be wondering is, how do I know so much about working on Capitol Hill? Well, I used to be a staffer. I started off as an intern and worked my way up. I was a staff assistant, LC, LA, and eventually worked on the committee. But when I was first offered the job, I faced a very difficult decision. Because although working in public service is not about making money, I had to put myself through college and graduated with student loans. Additionally, living in DC is expensive. Currently, Washington, DC ranks 4th among most expensive cities in the United States. And so, since congressional staff pay starts low, I was making $28,000 before taxes, I had a lot to think about. Please note that I'm not a certified financial planner. I'm just sharing my thoughts based on firsthand experience that I hope will help you see how working in Congress can be financially worth it. Now, on to the list. The first on this list is the Student Loan Repayment Program. If you have student loans, pay close attention to this. The Student Loan Repayment Program is a benefit of up to $833 a month. That's nearly $10,000 a year with a $60,000 lifetime max. The way that this works is that each member office or committee is given a certain pool of funds to divide among their staff. So, if you're the only staffer who has student loans, then you may be eligible to get up to the $833 a month paid towards your loans. However, if you are in an office with 8 staffers who are also on the Student Loan Repayment Program, you may not be getting the max amount because your office will now have to divide their pool of funds by 8. Here are some requirements you should know in order to be eligible for the Student Loan Repayment Program. The loan must be a federal loan, so it cannot be a private loan. The loan must be in your name. It cannot be in your parents' or your spouse's. The loan must be in active repayment status, meaning that it can't be deferred and it cannot be in grace. The loan must also have a current balance, so it can't have already been paid off. Any amount of money paid towards your loan is subject to taxes, and also some offices require that their staff sign a document that guarantees that you're going to work for the office for a certain period of time. If you leave earlier than that time, you may be responsible for paying back the amount paid towards your loans. Just make sure you check in with the office what the expectations are, and before you sign any contract, read the fine print. Number 2 is free transportation benefits. The great thing about working on Capitol Hill is that you have options. So if you drive a car, you can choose to have a parking space on Capitol Hill. If you don't drive a car, you can get up to $270 a month in Metro benefits. The way this is calculated is based on where you live and how much it's going to cost to get to work. So what's great about this is that your commute to and from work is essentially free. Number 3, the Thrift Savings Plan with the acronym TSP. The Thrift Savings Plan is Congress's retirement plan for congressional staff. It's like a 401k, but for federal employees. What's awesome about the TSP is that you can get free money. I said that right, free money. There are very few opportunities now to get free money, and so this opportunity is mind-blowing. You see, your employer will match up to 5% of the amount that you put into the TSP. So the way this works is that if you put in 5% of your salary into the TSP for retirement, your employer will also match that and put in 5% too. Free money. That is why it is important to start saving on day one. Now you may be thinking, well, Melissa, I make such a little salary, I can't afford to start saving now. And to that I say, yes, you can. Let's break it down. Let's take someone who's making $30,000 a year. 5% of that is $1,500 a year, which breaks down to $125 a month and about $4.17 a day. So if you forgo your special latte or afternoon snack, you can start to afford to save in the TSP. And what's important about that is if you do put away the 5% on the $30,000 salary, you'll be getting a free $1,500 a year. For somebody making $160K, so a senior staffer, 5% of that is $8,000. This is money that you do not want to leave on the table. Make sure to take advantage of this benefit. Along with the 5% matching, there is an additional 1% saved for you by your employer. This 1% though is not going to be accessible unless you stay on the Hill for 2 years. So if you leave earlier than that, you won't get this benefit. For those of you who have decided that you're going to put into your TSP fund and match with that 5%, wonderful, but you may be asking, what do I do now? Well, now that your money's going into the TSP, you have to be responsible into where the money is invested. The default allocation is in the G fund, which is the government fund, and that has, while it's the least risky, it has some of the lowest return on investment. And so what you want to do is to go ahead and research options of where you invest your money in the TSP. There are life cycle funds and other options where you can put that in based on your risk aversion. Not to complicate things a little more, but in the TSP, there are also 2 separate plans, a Roth TSP and a traditional TSP. The Roth TSP is one where you pay taxes now and then you put it into the TSP fund, and when you pull out the money during retirement, it's tax-free. A traditional TSP is one where it's tax deferred now, meaning you can put your money into the TSP, and then later when you pull it out, you'll have to pay taxes on it. I know I just threw a lot of information your way, and so if you still have questions on, should I do a Roth or a traditional TSP? Which life cycle plan should I choose? In the comments below, go ahead and leave your questions, and if I get enough interest, I can put together more explainer videos for you. Number 4, tax reciprocity. This is when you can keep your home state residency and pay home state taxes. According to the DC reciprocity rule, you can do this if you were an employee on the personal staff of an elected member and you and the elected member are bona fide residents of the same state. I know many staffers who decide to keep their home state as there may be tax advantages if you come from a state with no income tax. Since this is what I heard happens on the Hill, and I'm not a tax expert, I suggest that you talk to your tax accountant in order to verify. Number 5, pension. You may be wondering, what is pension? This is money that you will get from your employer after you retire. Keep in mind you're already working and saving in the TSP, and that's money where your employer matches up to 5% of what you put in. In addition to what you save in the TSP, there's also pension. In order to be eligible for pension, there is a minimum of 5 years that you will have to be working on the Hill. Once you hit the minimum of 5 years, there is a formula on the OPM website, the link is below, that you can then calculate how much you will get paid by your employer after you retire. As you can see, the general formula is 1.7% of your highest 3 average pay times years of credible service up to 20 years. Let's take this example. Someone who's been working on the Hill for 5 years with their average 3 highest annual pay to be $40,000. We'll multiply that by 1.7% times by 5, and we get that this person, after they retire, would receive $3,400 a year in pension payout. Now compare that to someone who's been on the Hill for 20 years. Their average highest 3 annual pay is $160K. Now we'll multiply that by 1.7% times 20 years, and you get that this individual will have an annual pension payout when they retire of $54,400 a year. That's in addition to what they will be saving in the TSP. Number 6, gym memberships. There's a gym on the House side and the Senate side. From what I've heard, the House gym has awesome classes, everything from yoga to HIIT high intensity interval training classes to core classes, and it's super affordable. The cost is about $19 a month if you sign up for the year, and if you go month to month, it's $22. The great option about having this affordable gym for staffers on the Hill is that you can also get a locker on the Hill, and I know some staffers who leave extra pairs of professional clothing there because, let's be real, during the summers in DC, you'll sweat through your clothes before you even get to the office. So what's great is that you can take an early morning class or workout on the way to the office. Once you get there, take a shower at the gym and be in your refreshed clothes. Compared to the cost of other gyms around DC, this is an affordable and convenient option. Number 7, free certificate classes. What's great about these classes is that you can get certificates for building skill sets at work. It could be anything from first aid and AED training to Excel certificate courses. And by building these skill sets, it makes you more valuable. Think about it. If you have a side gig as a babysitter, having first aid and AED training is definitely helpful. And also when we compare it to, let's say, the Red Cross, let's check their website, you can save anywhere from $75 to upwards of $100 for this class. Last but not least, number 8, joining a federal credit union. On the House side, it's the Congressional Federal Credit Union, and on the Senate side, it's the U.S. Senate Federal Credit Union. It's also open to staffers and interns, so make sure if you're on the Hill, you take advantage of opening an account. And once you open an account, it's there forever, even after you leave the Hill. In the short term, the benefits of having an account with the credit union is it's convenient. If you ever need to pull out cash or make a quick deposit, you can do that right at work. In the long term, the biggest thing with the credit union that I have found and that I've heard from other staffers who are members is they have some of the most competitive rates when it comes to mortgage interest rates and potentially getting a car loan. And so you definitely want to keep your account and take advantage of these great options down the road. Phew. Now that was a lot of information just thrown your way. And remember, there's still 3 bonus tips that's coming right up, so make sure you stay tuned. But just to give you a quick recap on the 8 financial benefits that we learned, they are: number 1, the Student Loan Repayment Program. Number 2, free transportation. Number 3, the Thrift Savings Plan, the TSP. Number 4, DC Reciprocity. Number 5, pension. Number 6, affordable gym memberships. Number 7, free certificate classes. And number 8, credit unions. If you found this video helpful so far, please go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Also, feel free to pass on this video to other congressional staffers who you think should know about this information. Now it's time for the 3 bonus tips that other staffers have shared. They're like well-kept secrets on Capitol Hill that should not be a secret any longer. The first is free therapy. On Capitol Hill, counseling sessions are free for staffers and interns. On the House side, These are offered through the Office of Employee Assistance. Since working on Capitol Hill can be highly stressful, I've heard from a number of staffers that going to these therapy sessions is super helpful. And what's great about these therapists is that they see a number of congressional staff and understand what it's like to work on Capitol Hill. And so they get you. Also, you don't have to use your insurance. These are free therapy sessions. And if you're still on your parents' insurance and want to keep this private, you don't have to use your insurance to go ahead and see the therapist. If you're interested in getting therapy, make sure you check out these resources. The second bonus tip is that there's no sales tax in a number of places on Capitol Hill. So if you're having lunch on the Hill, think Longworth Cafeteria or Rayburn Cafeteria, you may not need to pay sales tax. Just check out my receipt. The third and final bonus tip is the House Wellness Center. In this section, you can find services that have to do with healthy nutrition and how to handle stress. Another thing that's awesome is you get access to Zapongo, which provides you discounts of things like Sunbasket, Grubhub, Amazon Fresh, and other services. So if you use these businesses, make sure that you take advantage of these discounts. Now that we reached the end of the video, I'd love to hear from you guys, and in the comment section below, go ahead and let me know what your favorite financial benefit was or bonus tip. If you found this video helpful, please go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Also, feel free to share this video with anybody else that you know who'd be interested in learning about the financial secrets of working on Capitol Hill. See you in the next video!